Okay, so it's another daily docey dose of Assata Israel. And I was just like, I just woke up a while ago. But I just seen a quote came to my phone and it was talking about self-love. And I just say, like, this journey of self-love and self-care I've been on for the past 2 years has been my most happiest time of my life. Like, because for so long I was suffering and didn't even know why I was suffering, what I was suffering from. I just knew I didn't want to be here. Like, honestly and truly, like, tried to take my own life. And it's like, to get a second chance and to learn to see life for what it is, not for what I want it to be. It made me want to take advantage of my opportunities and not let anybody get in my way. Like, we allow, like, I love my Professor D. Her name is Camilla Douglas. And I took her class when I was in college. It was my health and wellness class. And she said in that class, the same box that you allow them to put you in is the same box they'll bury you in. And it's saying that take the limits off. You got to check out her book. It's called Limitless, Intentional, and Thoughtful. We are lit because we are. Like, we have a fire inside of us that will never be extinguished unless we allow other people to come put water on our fire. You only, like, you only allow people who's willing to put sticks and blow on your fire. You cannot expect people who only come to put water on your fire to come help you. Like, no, they trying to create steam, which is help with, like, and like steam has its own benefits. But if you building something, you want the people that's gonna help your fire grow, not the people that's gonna help your fire spread. Like, that is, like, that's beneficial as well. Like, don't get me wrong, we are made of four elements. They all interact with each other and do have their own benefits and significance. But when you are building something, you want the people that's gonna help you get to where you want to go, the people that's gonna fuel your fire. And it's like, that's something that learning to love myself really put into perspective for me. Because it's like, I began just saying, I'm cool with everybody. I don't have, like, because I never really had any friends for real. And then me not having really friends where I just was cool with everybody, like Rod Wave song Popular Loner. That's literally how I was, like, with everyone in my life. Like, I feel like, me personally, I leave a good impression on whoever come into my life, because I know who left a good impression on me. I know the bonds I created throughout life. So it's like, you have to take the time and really take heed to how you feeding it to other people. And it's like, that's something that self-love and self-care really taught me. Like, be mindful of who you feed your energy into, and also be mindful of who feeding into you. Because just like you want to show compassion, you got to show gratitude as well. And it's like, you have to help. Like, we are all here to be used. We just not here to be misused. And it's like, we have to set boundaries in our relationships with people, places, and things. Because you can have a bad relationship with weed. You can have a bad relationship with your room. You can have a bad relationship with your spouse. So you have to set boundaries for all three. Okay, you don't smoke weed, try food. When you depressed, you overeat. When you anxious, what you do? Like, you have to set boundaries with these things. in order to break bad habits. And that's self-care. That's exercising self-care. Self-love is digging into yourself and knowing who you are and what you want. That is self-love. But self-care is tending to yourself by exerting love to where it needs to be in your life. Like, which area needs to be loved? Which area do you need to get a deeper understanding on love with? Like, for instance, our spirituality. We all have a spirit living inside of us. If you walking on this earth, you do. You may not realize it. Yeah, you may not, because I was thinking of something else, like a different way of putting it, but you may not realize that's what it is, but that's what it is. That part of you that knows the song in your head, but you've never heard it out, like you never consciously heard that song, but your spirit knows it. That's that little person inside of you. That's that gut feeling that you get. That's that gut feeling that women get when they know they being cheated on. That's your spirit body telling you to trust your intuition. You're not wrong. It's something sketchy going on. It doesn't necessarily mean it's what you think in your head, but it's something that you need to pay attention to. Like, think about it. Like this like, for a lot of the men that choose that choose the life that they choose, they learn to trust their intuition when dealing with things. They know not to go places. They know how to move about things. That is your spirit, because you move, like, you trusting your intuition and acting off your instincts. Like Spider-Man, he was a spiritual being. His spirituality was heightened. That's what gave him superpowers. So with Spider-Man and Batman, all of these superheroes, all it is them tapping into that sense of knowing. That's all your spirituality is. That's all your spirit body is your sense of knowing and your sense of connection. Because, like, before, like, cause you cannot say spirituality is demonic if you don't even know what it is for real. Like, a mother, becoming a mother, that is a spiritual thing. To give birth to a child, that is a spiritual thing, because you are not doing that. That is nature moving through you. Nature is a spirit. The spirit of Mother Nature, the spirit of Earth, that is a spirit. That is spirituality. The laws of nature, like that sense of knowing, that sense of change. That's spirituality. Your habits, what you do on a daily, that's how you exercise your spirituality. You may not realize that, but if you get up every day and you don't take care of your body, then you are disconnected from your spirit body, because you're not even taking care of the vessel that it's in. That's why, like, if you ever seen that movie Soul, then you will know what I'm talking about when I say, like, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Because, like, in the movie, the movie is a great example for how life is for real. So it's like, it was this over this ledge, it was a whole bunch of people that was sluggish and slumped over, and they lost their light because they were lost. They called them the lost souls. And it's like, that's what that is. Like, if you don't take care of your vessel, if you have bad habits that you are exercising, you become a lost one in the spiritual world. Yeah, you can thrive in the world, but it's like you vibrate at a lower level to where negative entities can come use your vessel. because you don't care about your vessel. So like they gonna get to experience what they didn't get to experience in life through your vessel. That's why at some points in time you get those chills. That's why when people get drunk, they fall on the ground, because the moment they fall on the ground, they become a different person. That's why when people get drunk, they become a different person, because you putting spirits into your body, so you allowing those spirits to live through you. And it's like when they do that, they're able to feel, think, and do whatever they want to with your body until you regain consciousness. And it's like, the same with smoking weed, the same with doing drugs. Like, you literally can get possessed by spirits. And in order to get out of that, you have to elevate your consciousness. You have to rise above what you're suffering from. And it's truly levels to this shit. But that's why I made this YouTube, because if you don't have this knowledge, if you don't even think about it this way, you won't ever know what's really going on with you. Because like a lot of people be like, I don't know why I did that, because it wasn't you that did it for real. Yes, it was you and your body, but that wasn't you that did that. You were like, someone was moving through you and did that because that's what they wanted done. Because like, in all honesty, it could be one of your past relatives that's doing something that needed to be done. You may not see it that way at the moment that it needed to be done, but you subconsciously you wanted it done, but then you vibrated at a lower level to where someone got it done. And it's like, that's how life is. Like, that's the reality of it, at least. Like, we have to be willing to shift our perspective and exercise self-love and self-care in ways that we aren't used to. We got to be able to step out our comfort zone and see things for what they are, accept it, hold ourselves accountable to it, to our perspective, and create actions on how to expand our horizon, but also grow beyond our understanding of it. And that's all self-love and self-care is expanding your horizon through growth and understanding. It's not, it's just it's trusting your first mind and doing what fulfills your soul, doing what brings you peace. Like, however that happens for you is your choice. But just know that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And in us having a human experience, we have to take care of our vessels so that they can take care of us, so that we can protect our spirit body. Because we live in a spiritual warfare. Enslavement, oppression, and exploitation, that is practices of spiritual warfare. Colonialism, that is a practice of spiritual warfare, because it's an entity influencing people to go against their will, to not trust their intuition. And it's like, if you don't have enough tools in your toolbox to protect yourself, you won't be able to protect yourself. If you don't exercise your muscles, they won't be of value to you. That is why people gain weight. That is why people lose a bunch of weight and just their bones become brittle and less protected. Like, it's levels to this. Like, we have to really realize with our real eyes the real lies that's been fed to us. Like, this, like, I don't care how you feel about Black culture, Black Lives Matter culture. Like, I don't care too much for Black Lives Matter, but I don't care how you feel about what people say about Black people, African people in Africa, like the revolution for real. I don't care what you say. That's what they are literally making you accustomed to their way of life, so that you don't know your worth, so that you don't tap into your true divinity. Like, it's the house Negro and the field Negro was real. It's the same thing now. We just don't want to, we just look at it as classism now. We call it the rich nigga and the poor nigga, the hurt nigga and the healed nigga. You have to be willing to see life for what it is and help the next person see that same truth, find their truth in life. You can't just judge people just because you feeling higher than them. Like, no, that's not why we were put on this earth. Like, at the end of the day, we all off the same continent, off the same boat. They don't like I love the movie series Roots, because in the beginning of it, they were all being transported, and then like none of them knew the same language. They didn't have the same culture. So it's like they was trying to figure out how they was trying to figure out what was going on, but they wasn't communicating with each other. Then the moment that they communicated with each other, they began to revolt. Because they seen it for what it is, and they seen that it was more of them and less of the people that was oppressing them. Yeah, they may have advanced weapons and all of these things, but if we elevate our consciousness, we can put more tools in our toolbox, because it's more of us and less of them. Like, if you elevate your conscious enough, their weapons won't even affect you how they want them to. They will literally malfunction, because if you living through God's plan, you doing God's work and practicing that self-love and self-care, you see the enemy for who it is. You know yourself, you know the enemy. When you know yourself but don't know like I like to say, I love the book The Art of War. So let me say this right and how I understand it. When you know yourself and you know the enemy, then you are knowledgeable on what's going on. When you know yourself but not the enemy, then you are misguided to what's going on. But when you don't know neither yourself nor your enemy, then that's when you are ignorant. It's like you have to be willing to elevate your consciousness to a point where you understand what you don't know, or you know how to get guidance and clarity on what you don't know. Like, we tend to take everything for face value, but it's like, see beyond what you allow your eyes to see. Look beyond what's in front of you. Pay attention. Listen. Smell it. Taste it. Know it. Like, feel it. Like, we have these senses for a reason. They not just like, we don't have this vessel just because it looks good. No. We are hunters and nurturers. We are masculine and feminine, hunter and nurturer. We are masters and students. We have to be willing to tap into our divinity and stop going off of what everybody else think or whatever propaganda was pushed through your head. Like, when I was a kid, I played Eve and I played Harriet Tubman in the school play. And I love that because it instilled a confidence in me that can never be extinguished. Like, it fueled my fire to the point where I know what I'm capable of, because I was able to see things for what it is in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. I'm able to see things for what it is since I was popped out my mama womb. Okay. Cause I came right out on the floor. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Like I said before, I know I hit my head because I don't care about what everybody else got going on. I just be wondering, like, am I the one that's crazy? But then I realized, like, that's why I said self-love and self-care really taught me a lot about myself and showed me that love that I needed. It showed me how to take control of my fire, because, like, I began thinking that, Like, for instance, I'm going to share this. Like, the plan that, because Jeremiah 29:11 is something that really sat on my heart for years. I learned that scripture in second grade. And it's like, the plan that God had for me, God told me already. God showed me all throughout my life. And it's like, when I finally understood what that plan was, I was questioning God, like, why you choose me? Why do I gotta do this? Like, I don't want to do but I understand. God has a plan for us. God see potential in us that we don't see in ourselves yet. And it's up to us to live in that truth and exercise that truth to its full capacity. Like, we are not entitled to anything except change. And the sooner we accept it, the better off we will be. But it's when we resist it that it becomes a problem. That's why I tried to take my life, because I was resisting the change that God had for me. And it's like, we have to take a step back and see it through a different lens. Like, take the masquerade off. Clear off that smoky mirror. Clean your mirror. Look at yourself in it. And see that person for who it is, for who you are. Not for what you think you are. Not for what you want to be. For who you are. I don't care if you got acne all over your face. You are beautiful. I don't care if you got spots all over your face. You are beautiful. I don't care if your skin purple. I don't care if it's so dark that it's purple. You are beautiful. I don't care if your skin is as white as snow. You are beautiful. Like, our appearance doesn't matter. It's that beauty and that ugliness that's on the inside of us. You have to be willing to release that negativity. And that only comes when you processing your senses. You have to be willing to process it and exercise self-love and self-care through your senses, through yourself. You have to be willing to go through. Back to Professor D, like, she said, you have to go through shit in order to grow through shit so that you can glow through shit. And that's all life is. Peace and love.